Hello everyone, Gamer here, and in today's video I'm talking Boundless, where you can know me as Boundmore. Some of you might also know me from Discord under the name of my big toe. With this possible identity confusion out of way, let's jump right into it. Those of you who haven't played Boundless before its official release might be doubting your own senses. It does look like Boundless, doesn't it? And yet it's somewhat different, right? That's because you are looking at early access, or beta if you like. A few weeks before the official game launch, I decided to make this recording of my EA builds, before it all goes away and is replaced by the new persistent universe. I have never used this footage before, even though I intended to, so I thought why not now? We had this big news like a month ago, and with the new dawn, or new lease of life that Boundless got, I thought about all the changes it went through. It's been quite a journey, hasn't it? Even those who didn't play the early access has seen some important improvements, like the farming update or introduction of the sovereign worlds. And then we had that 2-year period of uncertainty, when the game was in, as it was called by James, maintenance mode. The future of Boundless was, well, in balance, let's put it that way. So yes, there were some big ups and downs over the year. It's been mental, one might say. So I looked back, and the road has been windy. It's been a bumpy ride for sure. But it was a journey forward nevertheless, both for the game and myself as a player, and I think many of you can relate to that. Just take a look at this footage. We had limited choice of craftable blocks, basically just refined to decorative wood and stone, metal blocks up to machined level, decorative basic gems were there as well. We could use compact coal too, but no marbles, no concrete, no decorative gleam, no decorative ice, no high-end metal blocks like the octagrid or filigree, no loosened gems either. We didn't have lattice chisel back then. There was no placeable liquid blocks and no solidified forms of them. Well, but that's not why my build looked bad. When you look at this recording from the early access and my builds, I was just really poor at building. I sucked at building so much, and the funny thing is, I thought I was actually good back then. It's only now when I look at it and I see the truth. I was shit at building back then, but I do have other talents. Never mind, let's move on. Luckily, there are some good, forget good, brilliant builders out there to look up to and learn from. So I got better at building eventually. Still, I'd rather show the work of the real masters, like Pyro? This fella, apt. His builds could not be more apt here, right? Everyone knows this masterpiece. And then there is Giorgio, man of many talents for sure. And if you haven't seen the Towers of Power yet, you sure should go and visit. I should give a shout to Nander and Blitz here as well, as I had the pleasure to watch their fungi forest grow in front of me. Also Shady Cat and Firefly, who created amazing things out there, and me being their neighbor in Boundless United gave me a chance to look at some great builds from up close and in various stages of development. Yes, so there are many that deserve to be mentioned here and that I learned a lot from. I'm a big fan of Bones, for example. No, not her. Our Boundless Bones, of course. But then again, who knows? Maybe it is her playing Boundless? Anyways, even though Bone's style is completely different and it's not what I would build myself, I cannot help but to admire the Bastion concrete. Look at those beautiful blobs. Just joking. I meant to get closer, of course. Much better. It's just a small bit of what Bones built, of course. So if you haven't been, I recommend to visit, both for sightseeing and shopping. Okay, it looks like I let myself digress a bit too much. So let's go back to the main topic of this video, which is basically a journey of Boundless. The changes, the review of changes over the years. And yeah, the game looks so different now, right? Although I must say not all changes were straightforward improvements. Some players didn't like the changes in lighting system, for example. I myself prefer the current look of it, but I can understand it's a matter of taste. It's in the eye of the beholder, so to speak. And then there's the curious case of the avatars. You can see the one I used for recording my early access builds here, but there were more of them. It's true we couldn't create our own avatar combining different elements. They were basically ready-made characters with fixed combination of a headpiece, clothing or armor, and skin tone. But in the end, they were replaced by what we use now, which is a bit leaner with clearly defined muscles, although some stated they look a bit starved. So they aren't to everyone's taste. I don't find them bad or ugly myself, but I do prefer the originals. Then again, is there a feature in game that makes everyone fully satisfied? Is there a game out there at all that would cater to everyone's needs and taste? I don't think so. What I'm trying to say here is changes are good, as they are a sign of ongoing development. And we could all complain about something in Boundless at some stage, but in the end, overall product was always good and it was moving forward. And we took it for granted. And then we had those 2 years of pause and nothing was happening and we couldn't be sure what's next. Will there be Boundless the next day when we wake up and turn on the computer? Or PS4? The monumental news changed everything, and no matter whether you were jumping of joy or went to doubt the new owner's intentions, we can all agree, I think, that this is welcome news. I myself met the Boundless sale announcement with optimism. I felt quite excited, if composed at the same time. Anyways, with the new crowd taking over, I'm looking forward to more changes. It's another stage of the journey. There were a lot of ideas that landed just short of being implemented, like local universes, melee weapons and shields, and the famous Hunter, or Warp Wreath as it was rebranded eventually. Some more, a bit further down the queue, were also shared by old team, be it new crafting stations or some decorative items. Can we indeed expect at least some of them being tackled by the new team when it's finally assembled? I thought it would be good to go through all posts by Monty to date and see if there's enough there to make some safe assumptions. Original announcement didn't offer much in that regard, but Monty answered to some players' questions since, and those proved to be more revealing. Okay, let's go through some of them a bit slower. First of all, it's encouraging that Monty played the game and liked it. It's good when an investor likes what he decides to work on. It seems to be a general monumental approach, as this post suggests. It also suggests, I believe, that there is no plan to change the core of Boundless gameplay, as it seems it's viewed by the new owners as sound and promising enough. So no danger of servers being shut down, and there's also the pledge of no wipe, keeping the original dev team promise of persistent universe. It's not just about saving builds of individual players, but also about a network of relationships between hunters, shoppers, portal hubs and public farms, forgers and top item users. So all the sellers and buyers. This is an interconnected universe that allows every and any individual player to enjoy their daily undertakings. And that's enabled by access to services, goods and locations that would otherwise take much more effort to be achieved. Monty has stressed the need for patience, as the transfer of the game and knowledge, as well as assembling a new dev team, might take months, in excess of half a year. He also confirmed that new player experience and the sales of game will be their first focus when the actual development restarts. But what can we expect after that? Well, we didn't get much in terms of which of the original ideas will be picked for development next, but we know for sure that blueprint feature is high on priority list. Nothing else about other existing concepts was said, but look at these statements by Monty. It's pretty clear that Monty took liking not just to existing Boundless features, but also what has been in works and prepared for future introduction by the old team. He seems to be ready to listen to all team ideas, not just because it's Boundless, but because it's his or monumental general approach towards games they invest in. All in all, there should be no revolution in gameplay, only fixing issues that seem to affect sales and player retention. And from there, development would most likely go in direction similar to what has been envisaged by the original dev team. That's at least my take on it from what has been posted by Monty so far. Getting an idea what needs fixing is one thing, another is ability to work on them long enough to succeed. New owners can sure learn from the past mistakes, but they can make their own as well, and it will be important they have resources and time to rectify them as well, and work as long as it takes to get things right. On that front, we can feel safe enough, I think, judging by this statement. And I think it's safe to assume we have at least a few years with Monumental ahead. And with that optimistic note, I am ready to close this analysis of existing communication. You don't have to agree with my assumptions, you can make your own too. Don't be shy to share them, either in comment section below or in Boundless forum. I will post this video link there so comments and discussion can take place there as well. I am curious about your own journey with Boundless and how you see the road so far, no matter at what point you joined. And I apologize again if certain digressions made my monologue a bit incoherent, but I do hope that you took something away from at least some parts of the video. And if yes, please like and or subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Halloween is coming and I sure will jump on that. For now, thank you very much for watching, and remember to stay boundless.